Hi, welcome to this CBT Nuggets MicroNugget entitled Mastering Your iDevice, Document Management. My name is Tim Warner. In this MicroNugget, I'm going to teach you how to do document management on your iDevice. Now, by iDevice, I mean an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. It doesn't matter, they all run the iOS operating system. I'm also going to give a disclaimer. I'm showing you simply my preferred ways to do document management on an iDevice. Of course, there are apps that I won't be covering and entire technologies that aren't relevant for this discussion. Just take this as a friend giving you advice based on what he uses, right? Now, if I go into the App Store to begin with and do a search for DataViz, this is a company, DataViz. They've been in business for a long time, and they make their money with Mac Windows interoperability. And they have an application. I originally used this on the Palm platform way back in the Palm Pilot days. Documents to Go. That's available for iOS as well. This is a solution for synchronizing Microsoft Office content, including Adobe Acrobat PDF content, from your computer to your iDevice and back again. Now, it's very expensive, $16.99 as you can see. That's why I don't use it, because there are better options out there in my opinion. But because Microsoft hasn't yet released Office apps for iOS, it presents a possibility anyway for managing documents. And of course, when we talk about document management, there's the question, do you just want to view documents on your iDevice, or do you actually want to edit them? That's a big question. Now, as far as just viewing them, boy, there are lots of options there. Let me swipe left. Instead of search through all my home pages, I'm just going to run quick searches for apps here. I'm going to open up Dropbox. Dropbox app is awesome if you have a Dropbox account, because there are built-in readers here where you can read image files, you can display PDFs. Here I have a Microsoft Word doc file. You see that they display right here in line on the application. In many cases, you don't need to go any further than good old Dropbox. It's pretty amazing. For dedicated readers, e-reader purposes, let's say, my favorite PDF reader is called Goodreader. Let me do a search for that. Here it is. And it's opened up to my dishwasher manual. I don't like to read PDF on iPhone as much. It's much easier on the iPad, in my humble opinion. But Goodreader is really nice. They have many ways for you to get PDFs onto your iDevice. There's a browser interface. You can use Wi-Fi. Of course, you can use iTunes to synchronize content back and forth. So that's what I use for PDF. For CHM files, I use an app called CHMate. This is excellent for reading compiled help CHM content that normally you wouldn't think would be readable on an iDevice, but it certainly is. Apple themselves makes a bunch of applications that give you not only readability, but writability. We have Pages. This is our word processing application, our first-party Apple word processor. And I've had pretty good luck with that, actually. Of course, it almost assumes that you're using iCloud for document storage. Let me come back home. Another Apple app is Keynote, which is their version of Microsoft PowerPoint. Yes, you can open up PowerPoint decks in Keynote. And the third one, their Excel clone, is called Numbers. The problem with Numbers is, actually, the problem with all three of these apps is that they're not free. You're going to pay, I believe, $10 a piece. But it's nice to be able to read and write Office files, create files on your own, save them to the cloud, assuming you have iCloud access, and go from there. Let's see, what other document management? How about the Kindle app? If you're into e-readers, Kindle has a free app that you can use to synchronize content. What I prefer myself is the Nook app. I'm a Barnes & Noble fanatic. I love their e-readers, and their Nook app is cool. I haven't even signed in here on my iPhone. I use Nook every day on my iPad. A special cool thing about the Nook app is that you can sideload your own content. In particular, if you have ebooks in the EPUB format, you can simply pop them in. Actually, instead of using iTunes to do your app management and your document management, I will put my EPUBs on my Dropbox. And then when you open an EPUB in Dropbox, you have the opportunity to pipeline it into another app like Nook. For instance, I bought a Barnes & Noble Classic Edition EPUB. When I fire it up in Dropbox, it tells us unable to view file. Now that is not bad news because we can click this button in the lower right and it asks us, do you want to open in? And any other apps that can handle that file type, you can open that way. So if I tap open in Nook, it will pry the EPUB open that way. Similarly, I can open up a PDF file like this Cliff Notes file that I have. And although it's displaying just fine here in Dropbox, I can again hit the lower right, hit open in, and pry it open in a number of different applications. The same goes for Microsoft Word files. If you want to do document management and document editing, tap it. It displays just fine in line, but I can open it in Pages, for instance, if I want to do editing. You see what I mean? So the bottom line is, if you install some strategic document management applications on your iDevice, and especially if you're putting the documents in your Dropbox account and accessing them with your Dropbox app, you should never, fingers crossed, have any problems getting to your files for at least read purposes, but in all likelihood you'll be able to edit and resave them as well. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.